This story takes place in a world where humans and monsters, such as vampires, werewolves, witches, and other supernatural beings, coexist. However, most humans prefer to keep their distance from these creatures, which is why they are referred to as outcasts. The story begins in a regular school where the main character, Wednesday, walks forward while silently cursing the entire education system. She is highly intelligent, but cold-hearted and emotionless. Due to her eccentric behavior and unusual appearance, everyone considers her a freak. Wednesday suddenly hears her younger brother's voice coming from inside a locker. Some rowdy boys had bullied him and locked him inside. However, he doesn't know who they were. As she frees her brother and touches him to untie him, she suddenly experiences a vision. She sees exactly who bullied him. For the past few days, she has been having these visions whenever she touches an object or a person. Through them, she can see glimpses of the past, present, and future. However, she has kept this ability a secret from everyone. To take revenge on them, Wednesday angrily heads to the swimming pool where the boys are swimming. As soon as they see her, they start making fun of her, unaware that she is about to play a painful joke on them. Without hesitation, Wednesday releases bloodthirsty piranhas into the pool. The fish immediately attack, tearing into their backsides. Watching their agony, a horrific smile appears on Wednesday's face. However, her actions come with consequences, and as a result of this incident, she is expelled from school. After this, Wednesday's parents enroll her in Nevermore Academy. Unlike other institutions, this academy is exclusively for outcast children. However, Wednesday is unhappy with their decision, believing that this academy will be just as useless as other schools. Meanwhile, a man steps out of a taxi a short distance from the academy. The taxi driver tries to warn him about the outcasts, but the man replies that he has lived with an outcast before and is not afraid of them. With that, he sets off toward his destination. His path leads through the forest near Nevermore Academy. After walking for a while, he stops to rest, but suddenly, an unknown creature attacks him and kills him. Meanwhile, Wednesday sits with her parents in the principal's office at Nevermore Academy. The principal mentions that she and her mother's mother were roommates during their school days. In response, Wednesday sarcastically asks how the principal's mental balance is still intact after living with her mother. Fortunately, the principal ignores her remark. After the piranha incident, the court ordered Wednesday to undergo psychiatric treatment to improve her mental state. The principal informs her that Nevermore Academy has an assigned psychiatrist, Dr. Valerie Kinbot, who practices in the nearby town of Jericho. Wednesday will be taken there for therapy sessions twice a week. After this, the principal takes Wednesday to her dorm room and introduces her to her roommate, Enid. Enid's personality is the complete opposite of Wednesday's. She is a sweet and cheerful girl who has decorated the room with various bright colors. However, Wednesday hates colors, and the sight of the brightly decorated room immediately ruins her mood. After this, Enid takes Wednesday on a tour of the school. She tells her about the outcast students who study there, explaining that most of them are divided into 4 groups: vampires, werewolves, sirens, and gorgons. Sirens have the ability to control others with their voices, while gorgons can turn anyone into stone. Enid also reveals that she is a werewolf. Although there are other outcast students at the school, the majority belong to these 4 groups. After some time, Wednesday's parents bid her farewell. Before leaving, her mother warns her not to even think about running away. In response, Wednesday rudely declares that she will definitely escape and that this might be their last meeting. Before leaving, her parents assign someone to keep an eye on her. Thing, a disembodied hand that is like a member of their family.
Meanwhile, in the woods, not jungle, the police discover the dead body of the same man who was seen getting out of the taxi at the beginning of the story. His body is mutilated, with parts scattered around and some missing. Previously, 2 similar murders had occurred in the area, and the sheriff strongly suspects that the outcasts are responsible. However, due to lack of evidence, he had remained silent. On the other hand, Wednesday and Enid get into a fight due to their opposite personalities. Just then, the botany teacher arrives to meet Wednesday. She is the only human who teaches at Nevermore. She helps resolve their argument and, before leaving, gives Wednesday a black flower as a welcome gift. The next day, Wednesday goes to fencing practice, where she finds a girl named Bianca already training. Bianca is a siren, one of the outcasts who can control others with her voice. She is the most popular student at Nevermore and excels both academically and in extracurricular activities. Bianca defeats a boy named Rowan in fencing and arrogantly asks the teacher if there is anyone who can challenge her. Hearing this, Wednesday steps forward and challenges her. The match begins. Wednesday quickly scores the first point. Bianca then scores the second and taunts Wednesday, saying her point was just luck. Enraged, Wednesday challenges Bianca to fight the final round without a helmet, with the rule that whoever bleeds first will lose. A fierce battle ensues between them, but in the end, Bianca wins by striking Wednesday on the forehead, causing her to bleed. After her defeat, Wednesday feels frustrated. As she leaves after getting her wounds bandaged, a stone gargoyle statue from the roof suddenly starts falling toward her. At the last moment, a boy named Xavier saves her. When Wednesday regains consciousness, she finds Xavier sitting beside her. Instead of thanking him, she insists that she could have saved herself. Thing had been secretly watching Wednesday the entire time. Later, while writing in her diary, Wednesday senses Thing's presence in her room. She quickly grabs him and threatens to cut off his fingers. She then tells him that if he wants to keep them intact, he must work for her. Intimidated, Thing reluctantly agrees. Wednesday is secretly planning to run away from school, and she includes Thing in her plan. Next day, she attends a therapy session with the principal and the psychiatrist. However, despite the psychiatrist's best efforts, Wednesday refuses to share anything. In reality, she has something else on her mind. Using her wit, she cleverly escapes through the bathroom. After some time, she stops at a coffee shop to take a break. There, she meets the sheriff's son, Tyler, who works at the shop. Wednesday asks for a coffee, but there is a problem with the coffee machine. The instruction manual to fix it is in Italian, which Tyler cannot read. However, Wednesday, who knows Italian, helps him repair the machine. In return, she asks him for a ride to the bus stand. Tyler agrees, but asks her to wait a while as he has some work to finish. While waiting, a group of regular human boys notices Wednesday's Nevermore uniform and starts harassing her. Most people in the city despise and dislike outcasts coming into town. However, Wednesday swiftly beats up the boys, teaching them a harsh lesson. Just then, the sheriff and the principal arrive. Upon learning that Wednesday's father is Gomez Addams, the sheriff remarks that Gomez should be behind bars for murder, but remains free because of his wealth. He warns Wednesday that he will be keeping a close eye on her. After that, the principal takes Wednesday back to school. With her escape plan having failed, Wednesday spends the night playing the cello, not violin, to lift her mood. Her music captivates everyone, but it does little to ease her own feelings. Just then, Enid arrives. Since it is a full moon, all the werewolves are howling at the sky. However, noticing that Enid remains in her normal form, Wednesday asks why she hasn't transformed, and it explains that she has not yet fully become a werewolf, though her mother assures her that she will transform eventually. Enid fears that if it never happens, she will be cast out from her community and forced to live alone for the rest of her life. After some time, Thing goes to Tyler's house and convinces him to talk to Wednesday over a video call. Wednesday inquires whether he still wants to help her escape. In return, she offers him a reward. However, Tyler declines, saying he will help her but doesn't want anything in return. The next day, a festival, the Harvest Festival, is set to take place in the city, and Wednesday comes up with a plan to escape during the event. On the day of the festival, she arrives with Enid and waits for the right moment. As soon as she gets the chance, she distracts the principal and tries to slip away with Tyler. However, on her way out, she accidentally bumps into a boy named Rowan, the same student Bianca defeated in fencing. The moment she collides with him, she has a vision of his death. Rowan is running frantically into the forest. Alarmed, Wednesday decides to follow him to stop whatever is about to happen. Meanwhile, Xavier, another student who had once saved Wednesday from a falling stone statue, spots her heading into the forest and decides to follow her.
In the forest, Wednesday stops Rowan and tells him that his life is in danger. However, Rowan suddenly smirks and attacks her instead. Wednesday's confused, not understanding what is happening. Then Rowan shows her a drawing of a girl who looks just like her, standing in front of Nevermore as it burns and crumbles. He explains that his mother had the ability to see the future and created this drawing 24 years ago. According to her prophecy, Wednesday will be the one to destroy Nevermore. Believing he must protect the school, Rowan was trying to kill Wednesday to prevent the prophecy from coming true. But before Rowan can kill Wednesday, a monster suddenly appears, kills Rowan, and then disappears. In the next scene, the police are seen searching the forest after Wednesday reports the incident. However, they find no trace of what happened, not even Rowan's body. The sheriff tells Wednesday that she must have been hallucinating, but she is completely certain of what she saw. Wednesday expresses her desire to speak to the sheriff alone, but the principal objects and refuses to allow it. However, when the sheriff insists, she reluctantly gives them 5 minutes in private. Wednesday tells the sheriff that there is a monster in the forest, and that it was the one who killed Rowan and the others. She also believes someone is trying to cover up these murders. But suddenly, the door opens and Rowan walks in. Both of them are shocked to see him. Wednesday is completely confused, unable to understand what is happening. After some time, Wednesday meets Enid and asks her about Rowan. Enid tells her that she only knows Rowan was a strange boy who had no friends. The only person who might have information about him is his roommate, Xavier. That night, while working on her novel, Wednesday notices Rowan's painting and spots a strange symbol in it. The next day, she goes to the principal's office and expresses her desire to meet Rowan. However, the principal refuses, informing her that Rowan has been expelled and is leaving the school that very day. She also instructs Wednesday to join a club for extracurricular activities. Wednesday knows the principal is keeping a close eye on her at all times. Reluctantly, she visits different clubs. First, she tries the singing club led by Bianca, but things don't work out. After that, she goes to the archery club, led by Xavier, where he teaches her how to shoot arrows. There, Wednesday casually asks Xavier about Rowan. He tells her that while Rowan was always a bit strange, his behavior had worsened recently. After this, Xavier warns Wednesday to stay away from Tyler, claiming that Tyler and his human friends despise them. Ignoring his words, Wednesday tosses an apple into the air and shoots an arrow at it. The arrow pierces the apple and carries it straight to the center of the target. Seeing this, Xavier is left speechless.
After this, Wednesday arrives at the Hummers Club, where they teach about bees. However, when she gets there, she finds only one boy, Eugene, who is running the club alone because no one else ever joins. As Eugene and Wednesday talk, Thing suddenly appears and gestures for her to follow him. Curious, Wednesday follows and is shocked to see Rowan preparing to leave the school with his luggage. The surprising thing is that this time he is speaking to Wednesday much more calmly compared to that night. Sensing something odd, Wednesday orders Thing to follow him. When Rowan reaches the station, he goes into the restroom, but instead of Rowan, someone else comes out. Thing doesn't understand how Rowan suddenly disappeared. After some time, that person returns to their real form, revealing that it was none other than the principal, Principal Weems, using her shape-shifting ability. Thing immediately rushes to Wednesday and informs her that Rowan has escaped from the toilet. In botany class, Xavier invites Wednesday to sit with him. He has the power to bring any picture to life and tries to impress Wednesday with it, but she remains unimpressed. Meanwhile, the sheriff is heading into the forest with his dog for an investigation. Meanwhile, to distract the principal, Wednesday sends Enid to the Hummers Club in her place. She then sneaks into the forest to look for clues about Rowan's incident. While searching, someone suddenly pulls her aside. It is none other than Tyler. Tyler explains that he pulled her away to keep her from being spotted by his father, Sheriff Galpin, who was investigating the area with his dog. Tyler admits that he has been secretly watching his father, worried that the monster might attack him too. Once the sheriff leaves, Wednesday and Tyler begin investigating the site. Wednesday discovers Rowan's glasses, and the moment she touches them, she experiences a vision. She sees Rowan and Xavier in a heated fight. She also sees Rowan tearing a page from a blue book. However, the drawing is incomplete, with half of it still stuck in the book. As soon as she returns from the forest, Wednesday begins searching for the book. Just then, the botany teacher, Marilyn Thornhill, arrives. Wednesday asks Wednesday about the symbol she saw in the drawing. The teacher explains that it belongs to an old student society called the Nightshades, which was shut down years ago. Before leaving, the teacher praises Wednesday for her insightful answers in class and seems quite impressed by her personality. She also tells Wednesday that if she ever wants to talk, she can come to her anytime. After the botany teacher leaves, Wednesday resumes her search for the blue book. She decides to look for it in Rowan's old room, which now belongs to Xavier. While searching, Xavier suddenly enters. At the right moment, Wednesday and Thing hide inside the room. A moment later, Bianca also enters the room. Bianca and Xavier used to be a couple, but their relationship ended after Bianca once used her siren powers on him. However, Bianca still has feelings for Xavier, which is why she feels threatened by his growing interest in Wednesday. She tries to turn Xavier against Wednesday, but her words have little effect on him. Hidden nearby, Wednesday listens to their conversation. Bianca then mentions that in the upcoming Poe Cup, she plans to humiliate Wednesday by defeating her roommate, Enid. When Wednesday returns to her room, she finds Enid crying. Enid explains that one of the girls on her team has suddenly fallen ill and has been disqualified from the competition. Wednesday immediately suspects that this is Bianca's doing and decides to teach her a lesson. She convinces Enid to let her take the place of the girl on the team.
The next day marks the Poe Cup, an annual competition held in honor of Nevermore Academy's most famous student, Edgar Allan Poe. The competition consists of two parts. First, teams must row their boats across the river, and then they must enter the forest to retrieve their team's flag and return. The most interesting part is that there are no rules. Bianca has dominated the Poe Cup for the past 2 years using underhanded tactics to secure her victories. This time, she has once again made sure everything is in her favor. During the race, Bianca's teammate, a siren, uses his powers to sink the vampire's boat. When he turns his attention to Wednesday's boat, ready to do the same, Wednesday reveals that she has anticipated this. She orders Thing to throw a net over the siren, trapping him and preventing him from interfering. With the threat neutralized, Wednesday and her team safely cross the river. Upon reaching the shore, Wednesday instructs her teammates to guard the boat while she ventures into the forest alone to retrieve their team's flag. On the shore, Enid cleverly distracts the boys with the help of Thing. As soon as they step away from their boat, she quickly punches a hole in it, ensuring they won't be able to move forward. Meanwhile, Wednesday reaches the flag, but the moment she touches the wall beside it, she is struck by a vision. A girl who looks just like her appears and cryptically tells her, "You are the real key." The next moment, Wednesday snaps out of the vision. Wasting no time, she grabs the flag and sprints back toward the boat. By then, most of the teams have already moved ahead. But thanks to Enid's sabotage, the boys' team is stuck, unable to move forward due to their damaged boat. Now only Bianca's team and Wednesday's team remain in the race. Determined to win, Wednesday steers her boat toward Bianca, using the weapon mounted on her boat to puncture it. However, just as she is about to strike, Bianca's teammate, a siren, starts pulling their boat from underneath the water, trying to steer them away. At the last moment, Thing punches the siren, knocking him unconscious and stopping his interference. With the path clear, Wednesday's team attacks Bianca's boat, successfully creating a hole and forcing them out of the competition. In the end, Wednesday's team crosses the finish line first, winning the Po Cup and ending Bianca's reign as champion. After winning the competition, a celebration begins, but Wednesday has no interest in it. She quietly slips away and sits under a statue of Edgar Allan Poe. While sitting there, her eyes fall on the book held by the statue. To her surprise, she notices the same nightshade symbol that she had seen on the drawing. Before she can think further, Enid arrives and drags her back to the celebration. Later that night, Wednesday sneaks back to the Edgar Allan Poe statue. She remembers that Poe was famous for his riddles, so she climbs up and examines the book in the statue's hand. Being highly intelligent, Wednesday solves it with ease and realizes that she must snap her fingers twice. As soon as she does this, the statue shifts backward with a loud sound, revealing a hidden door. Stepping inside, Wednesday discovers the blue book containing Rowan's mother's drawing. As she studies it, suddenly someone sneaks up behind her, covers her with a black cloth, and everything goes dark. And with that, the episode ends.